Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Today on the program, a change of heart at the House of Representatives.
When we got the more than majority of members, so we decided to have it uniform, 12 years old.
Resetting the proposed minimum age of criminal responsibility from 9 to 12.
On the contrary, study shows that brains mature at age 26 or later.
But is this move enough to ensure the rights of children? Human Rights Commissioner Leah Armamento joins us live. And later,
Ikaw kaya ang feel ko. Happy pill, peace pill, energy pill.
how long will love last? These lovers embark on a final trip before saying goodbye. Hanggang kailan star and actor Xian tells us more in the program. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pinky Webb. A bill lowering the minimum age of criminal responsibility hurdle second reading at the lower house. But after various reactions from rights groups and lawmakers, congressmen made last-minute changes. The bill now proposes a 12-year-old minimum as opposed to the initial plan of 9 years old. The word criminal was also changed to social to make it more acceptable to lawmakers. Are these changes enough for Congress to pass this bill? Let's go straight to the source of the story, Human Rights Commissioner and former Justice Undersecretary Leah Armamento. Commissioner, welcome to the show. Good to meet you.
Thank you. Glad to meet you too,
All
personally.
Right. Personally, ma'am. So it happened yesterday on second reading that from 9, the congressman changed this to 12. Is this good enough?
What we wish is that the law be maintained as it is. No need of amendment or revision because it's still being implemented by the justice sector. The Supreme Court, the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Council, the prosecution, and the Public Attorney's Office are still trying to create procedures, rules of procedures, to implement the existing Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act. At this point, I think there is no need to amend it. The law that is right now existing, the status quo, is better than what is being proposed.
We played a while ago, Commissioner, that you said that the maturity of a child, of a person, is actually 26 years old. Where are you getting this data?
During the time that the Republic Act 9334, that was the original Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act, sponsored by Senator Pangilinan, there was an amendment that was proposed by Senator Chis Escudero. And one of the members of the Committee for the Special Protection of Children, Dr. Bernie Madrid of the UP PGH, presented a study wherein she said that the brain matures at middle 20s. So it's age 26 years old or even later. Mm-hmm. And then it is when the matured brain makes the decision that it can delay gratification, it is more circumspect. Unlike when it is in the teen years, this is the age where the brain is not yet fully developed. For scientists, it is only at the back portion of the brain that is developed, not yet the frontal portion, which is more helpful for decision making. In which case, teenagers are prone to peer influence, suggestion by the adults, and then they are into immediate gratification.
But when you say that, if that is the kind of justification that the brain actually is fully developed at the age 26, why are you amenable to an age of criminal responsibility of 15?
That's the best that we can get. Not really that we are amenable to that, but that's the best that so far that the lawmakers can give the advocates for children.
Commissioner, you know, Majority Leader Fred Castro was in the show yesterday, and he said that, well, in a nutshell, I don't know if we have his, well, we have his statement ready in a while, but in a nutshell, he was saying that, you know, back during the revised penal code in 1935, the age was 9 years old. There was never a problem with decisions by the Supreme Court, he says. In fact, it's not lowering the age, reverting back the age, he says, to 9 years old. And another defense justification, he says, is that with the advent of technology and the information around us, the maturity possibly of a child now is faster than it was many, many years ago.
True that we had the existing revised penal code, and then because of the latest technology, there is like a flood of information coming to children, but the brain development remains. It does not change at all. Yes, it does not. So the more information that we have, the more laws that we pass, the more transgression that is being created.
Okay, let's hear it straight from Congressman Fred Castro.
The original version of this is found under the revised penal code. If I discovered that this was effective since 1935, and it was right in 1935, therefore it is more right now. Why? Because the technology is higher, more sophisticated now. I believe that the power or ability of the children to discern what is right and what is wrong is similarly influenced by their environment.
Such as you're saying, technology and the availability of information.
Yes.
Care to react to that, Commissioner?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Discernment
Still a development.
is like, even in the study, it even states that as early as 3 years old, the child already knows what is right and what is wrong. But it is the decision-making process that is material. So there is even discernment already, even earlier than 15. But still, how do you react to a certain situation is a different thing, depending on the maturity of the brain.
So there's a difference, therefore, between discernment and decision-making. That's what you're saying.
You're correct.
We'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Up next, is there a correct age for criminal responsibility, or now what is called social responsibility? Human Rights Commissioner Leah Armamento will still be with us after the break. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, Human Rights Commissioner Leah Armamento. In the Senate, Senate President Tito Sotto also authored a bill to lower this to 12 years old. And he gave an example when we interviewed him. Let's listen to the statement made by Senate President Tito Sotto.
Yung lamandera doon sa hipag ko eh. O, yung anak niya, 13 years old na high school student eh, ni-rape ng dalawang kaklase na high school din, 13 years old din. After 1 week, yung dalawang nan-rape, nakakapasok na uli sa eskwela, tatawa-tawa pa eh. Itong na-rape, hindi na makapasok sa hiya. So you tell that, you know, those who are against it, tell that to the parents of the victims.
All right.
Under the existing law, the children that commits heinous crime, serious offenses that is more than 6 years imprisonment, like rape, murder, there is the so-called diversion. These children, upon apprehension, they are brought to the local social worker, and then the court will either by itself or through a committee, diversion committee, will process this child. This child will be put into the Bahay Pag-asa. But as we know, right now, the Bahay Pag-asa is not really for restorative justice. It should have a social worker, psychiatrist, or child psychologist, educator. So it should be a team. But at present, I think there are only 8 of this that complies with that. So
eight Bahay Pag-asas,
yes,
in the different LGUs.
Yes, that has this kind of team. So these children will not be released because, like, they're raped and then, like, what was alleged, that they are out there.
Yeah, patawa-tawa daw, sabi
I
ni Senate
don't think
President.
so, because it will be apprehended and then they will be brought immediately.
So you don't think that happened?
I don't think so, unless there may be some there is failure of compliance with what is provided under the existing law.
Commissioner, is there a right age for social responsibility?
Which used to be criminal responsibility, so it's now social responsibility. Different countries have different minimum age. 15 is good enough because, like, our law was one of those considered to be the best law for juvenile justice. So, so if we can settle for 15, and then we will just fully implement the existing Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act, then I think we are on the right track.
But what do you say to, for example, kids who are below 15, 13, who commit heinous crimes?
Yes.
I guess you were saying it's really just to strengthen the Juvenile Welfare Act.
Yes.
That is already part of the law that needs to be implemented properly.
Yes. So children 12 to 15, that under the present law has no criminal responsibility. They are not like what was said on the television, that they will be released. No, they should be taken into the custody by the local social welfare. And then the good thing here is that the parents, the community, the victim are involved. So there is reparation to the victim of an heinous crime, and then there is corresponding responsibility on the part of the child who committed the crime, and also from the parents.
So let's look at some of the specifics of the bill at the House Justice Committee. They're saying that, number one, these kids will not be jailed. They will be brought to Bahay Pag-asa. That also is part of the Juvenile Welfare Act. Hindi naman daw sila ikukulong. They're not going to be together with common criminals. They will be in Bahay Pag-asa. And then number two, they will be sentenced. Once convicted, they will be sentenced. A sentence would be 2 degrees lower than that of an adult. And then the third one is to actually, when they need to serve their sentence, they're going to be brought to so-called agricultural, not camps, training centers. Tuturuan daw sila doon.
What is the first allegation? That the children
are not going to be jailed,
but put in Bahay Pag-asa.
Yes.
Bahay Pag-asa is just a euphemism for detention facility. It should, but the ideal is that this Bahay Pag-asa will be child-friendly and will have diversion program and restorative justice program. But the existing facilities that we have now are not
conducive. No?
Yes, are not conducive and not even up to the criteria of Bahay Pag-asa.
Okay.
So I think what we have, instead of doing that, I always refer back to the present law. And then you said that they said that if convicted, they will be
brought to agricultural training centers where they will be taught.
Are we not violating the law against child labor? Because children below 15 are not supposed to work. So, and if you are 15 and above, you are supposed, if you are to work, it's with the family, with your family, and it should not be hazardous. So if you put a child to agriculture, not all children like to be farmers. There are children who are artists. Unlike in diversion, this will answer to the needs of the child. This is an individual case-to-case assessment and treatment of the child.
All right, let's see what happens at the House, of course, and at the Senate. Thank you so much, Human Rights Commissioner Leah Armamento. Thank you, ma'am. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Coming up, a film about lovers and their last trip together. Actor Xian Lim shares a story after the break. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Can a person really prepare for a heartbreak? And what would you do if the one you love embarked on your last trip together? The pre-Valentine movie Hanggang Kailan tells a story of Donnie and Kath. The trailer shows a happy couple enjoying their Japan adventure. But later on, the revelation that they need to go their separate ways will break moviegoers' hearts. We get to know more about the story and ask our guest how it feels working with a new leading lady. Let's go straight to the source of the story. Hanggang Kailan actor Xian Lim. Xian, good to see you again. Welcome to the show.
The Source, thank you for having me here. And good morning to everyone who's watching.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know, I watched the trailer, so I was confused because first, is it a story of like the right love at the wrong time?
Yes. I like what you said, Ganina, when we saw each other. You said, I'm sure you mentioned different plot points, and I told you, no, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have the usual. He probably has a kid. He probably has this. This is just between Kat and Donnie, my character, and Luis de los Reyes' character, about falling in love at the wrong time. And gusto naming i-impose dito yung question na may karapatan ka nga ba magmahal knowing na mali na yung nararamdaman mo from the start?
Mali, pero yun nga, I guess that's where the plot thickens dahil bakit siya mali. So I was asking Xian before we came on air, I said, ano ba to, Xian, meron ka bang asawa na iba? Meron ka bang girlfriend na iba? O meron ka bang anak o nanay na kailangan?
Yeah, sa trailer naman, I mean, sa lahat ng nakapanood ng trailer, and I'm very thankful sa lahat because it's nag-air na yung trailer for about 2 weeks now, and online it has like, in this one side, it has like 2 million plus views already. Maraming salamat sa lahat. In the trailer, na-reveal na rin na parang...
Anong na-reveal?
Na-reveal na rin na he said, I love you to someone, and he got caught saying, I love you to someone.
Actually, I cued that particular part of the trailer because it started out, I want to show that part of the trailer. It started out with an ideal love story.
Yes.
And then, until Xian says this. Let's watch.
I love you. No, I love you.
Last 2 days. And last trip na rin. Pwede bang sa last 2 days natin, akin ka lang?
Sabi kasing akin ka lang, ibig sabihin, may iba.
Yes, definitely. Yun na nga. So it happens. We don't want to shy away from it. We don't want to hide it from people. This type of love story really happens, and we're not. Some people say na parang, why are you romanticizing it? Sometimes I saw some comment.
Yes, I saw that too.
Yes, not only the heartbreak, but why are you? Parang they're saying na why are you
romanticizing like another woman?
Party, or why are you romanticizing the third party?
Can you answer that?
This is a love story, and hindi maiiwasan. Of course, there's romance involves love story, but it's something that happens. That's why gusto namin itanong na parang may karapatan nga ba magmahal ang isang babae or isang lalaki na parang it's mali na to eh. From the start, mali na. So how?
There was a line there. You said,
I'm selfish for wanting you.
Yeah, and she said, I'm selfish for entertaining it. Right?
Yes. So while watching this, gusto namin, we hope to have the effect na parang masabi ng mga tao na ganyan ako nasaktan noong araw, ganyan ako nagmahal, ito yung mga mistakes na nagawa ko. So we're asking people to come to the theaters without a mindset. Kumbaga without judging the characters.
Katulad ko, na-ginudge ko na meron kang either nanay, may anak, o may girlfriend, o may asawang iba.
Yeah. Just, I mean,
enjoy it first, huh?
Come to the theaters with an open heart and an open mind and just experience their love story. And sakto, this is a pre-Valentine's movie.
Yeah.
So we want them to be able to relate and see for yourself. Kumbaga, bakit nga ba? We are not, I mean, it is a love story, but come watch the movie and experience it.
Wait, how different is this love story?
This is pretty different. This is different. I mean, from the start, mararamdaman na nila. Really, well, parang pag pinanood nila to, from the start pa lang, what is this I'm feeling? Like, this is just so new. Parang gano'n.
Because it was so cute in the beginning. At the beginning, you said, I can't imagine my life without you. Hindi ko maisip ang buhay ko na wala ka. Ganon. You're my entertainment pill. She's everything. And then after that, it goes to the problem of the love story.
Pinakita ka agad siya. Pinakita, I mean, sa ibang love story, usually we save that part for the very last. Or
I love you. You mean I
yes,
love you.
na parang, oh my gosh, may mga ganun. But here in the story, we already reveal it.
Yeah.
So,
would that be new?
Yes, that's something new
to a trailer?
That we're showing to everyone. And di ba nga, may kanta na, my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. So all these hugot, this is, masakit itong pelikula na to.
Masakit? So, iyak sila.
Hopefully we get that effect. Hopefully we get that effect.
Well, how is it working with Luis de los Reyes? Of course, it's your first time to be part of it.
And we didn't even know each other.
Hindi kayo magkakilala.
When we usually kasi pag nagkaka-work, meron ng some sort of rapport sana eh. But this particular project, we were so compressed for time kasi we wanted to be in an event in Japan. So we are so compressed for time. We're like, how do we make this work? Nakakahiyaan po eh. Siyempre, it's awkward. It's awkward. But yeah, I mean, we sort of just jumped into our characters and
were you comfortable with each other right away?
At first, not really. We also had a couple of kissing scenes and love scenes, so it's always awkward to do those.
Especially to someone that it's your first time working with Luis. But it's obviously in Japan, a beautiful setting. Where in Japan? Why in Japan? Is that something you can tell us?
Yeah, it's in Saga, Japan, and
Where is that?
Landing namin is in Fukuoka. It's a couple of hours. It's a couple-hour drive. Yeah. So I think the director and the producers wanted just a contrast between their love story. Na parang, what is going on in their love story? This different type of love story, in contrast sa beauty ng Japan. So yung Japan element, and it has its own character.
Alam ko na sinasabi mo. It's a beautiful setting, but it's a painful experience.
Yes.
Contradicting each other.
Yeah. So we really worked so hard for this.
How long did you shoot this?
Total siguro mga 20 plus days.
Only?
Yes.
And everything in Japan?
Well, 70 to 80% in Japan. And there's some flashbacks. We had to show a couple of flashbacks.
Of course.
Dito sa...
Kung sino yung I love you mo dun sa telepono, it has to come back, I guess, to the Philippines, right?
Yes. This is, and I'd like to say, this is a dialogue-heavy film. Parang people ask us, sino bang mga kasama niyo? It's only me and Luis. It's only Kat and Donnie.
Talaga?
It's that type of film. So it's a dialogue-heavy film.
Wait a minute, Xian. When you read the script, did you immediately fall in love with the character?
I fell in love with it.
It's a love story.
I fell in love with the character, and I fell in love with yung mga situations na kasi totoo lang yung sinasabi niya eh. Wala ditong breakdown na parang it's not the type of love story na boy meets girl, girl falls in love with boy, and they live happy. No. We just very totoo lang yung pinapakita namin, totoong emotions and totoong story.
Pero yung story, okay, sinabi mo na, makatotohanan siya.
Yes.
Pati kung ano talaga yung plot ng story, makatotohanan siya. Nangyayari siya talaga.
Nangyayari siya. Even I was asking the writer.
Nangyari na ba ito sa'yo?
Well, no, as Donnie, but I think I can relate more. Ako kasi yung palagi sinasaktan eh. So,
parang di mo ka.
Naging stereotype na kasi sa mga lalaki na sila ang nananakit. But in reality, nagbibigay lang naman kami ng puso for the women to take care of.
Okay, so please promote, hanggang kailan, please promote the film. This is your Valentine offering. No? It's a Viva Valentine offering.
Okay, para hindi ka na-convinced sa sinabi ko.
Sa'yo, hindi.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm inviting everyone to watch our latest film, Hanggang Kailan. Of course, kasama ko po dito si Luis de los Reyes, and it's directed by Direk Bona Fajardo. This is a pre-Valentine offering from Viva Films, Blue Art Production, and XL8. Mapapanood niyo po ito sa February 6. At maraming salamat po. Hopefully, you guys can support Thank you.
So, last question.
Yeah.
Ano kaya yung takeaway ng mga manonood nito?
In terms of takeaway, I mean, ang gusto lang talaga namin dito is for them to feel the character. Kumbaga, the realizations of how, yung take lang nila, we want them to have a different experience watching it.
Ito ba yung type na movie na paglabas ng sinehan, iba yung pakiramdam ko, iba yung pakiramdam ng katabi ko, gano'n?
Yes, exactly.
Magko-compare notes kayo.
Iba, magko-compare notes kayo. Ganito kasi. No,
kasi
of
si
course
Donnie
not.
ganito, gano'n.
Yeah.
O dapat ginawa to ni Kat.
So hopefully they can either relate to my character or Kat's character, Luis's character.
Okay, is there anything else you did in the film that you can tell us? Siyempre yung acting, yung 20 days, what else? Anything spectacular or
This
different?
is actually my first time being a co-producer sa pelikula, and this is something that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
So, yun, I mean, that's how much I fell in love with the story.
Really?
And yeah.
And that's how much you believed in it.
Yeah. And being a producer, co-producer, a filmmaker is something na parang gusto ko talagang gawin. Ever since I've been coming in the show promoting, it's something that I've always wanted to do.
It's funny, no? Not funny, but actors possibly would either be directors or eventually producers. Ikaw nandun ka dun sa producing. So, we wish you luck on the showing of Hanggang Kailan. Let's find out what the story really is and who he said, I love you to.
Yes.
On the phone, Xian said, I love you to on the phone. Xian, maraming salamat. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
And good luck.
Source.
And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.